Well, we are still trying to figure out what humanity is. Not even a few weeks passed after the assassination of George Floyd back in the United States, which eventually turned out to be a revolution that broke out all over the world. Another horrendous incident took place just a few weeks ago in the southern region of India, Tamil Nadu, in a place called Thoothukudi, also known as Tuticorin. Jayaraj and Phoenix, a father and a son who run a small scale business, a cell phone shop, were arrested on the 19th of June for having had their shop open for barely 10 minutes, which was against the COVID 19 protocol where the curfew was up until 8 p.m. So it was more or less close to 8:10 or 8:15. Knowing that these two individuals, the father Jairaj and his soon to be married son Phoenix, were pulled into a conversation for not being able to follow the protocol and hence went against the curfew, the police personnel eventually drove into a heated argument with Jairaj and Phoenix, and they started abusing the two for potentially reciprocating to the harsh encounter of the police personnel. The father and the son were only trying to explain that they were about to close their shop, and in fact, they humbly asked for an apology for having their shop open just for a little while, as they had customers who were almost done with the purchases from the store. Considering their response unconvincingly lame, the police arrested them both and dragged them into the police station. Here, interestingly, there was no space provided by the police to have sat the two of them both for an inquiry or an investigation. Instead, they brutally started beating Jairaj and Phoenix. The first shot right on their kneecaps, which made them trip and fall onto the ground with their bleeding knees, suffering with an antagonizing pain. The police inspectors Balakrishnan and Raghu Ganesh, with the help of friends of police, started brutally harassing the two, which resulted in profuse bleeding. And guess what? The so called police inspectors, well, I would call them a nepotistic, a narcissistic, and a chauvinistic bastards, stripped them both completely nude, sexually harassed, and brutally raped Jairaj and Phoenix by literally running their lathi, or what we call the police sticks, into the buttholes of these innocent individuals, thus leading to excessive bleeding from their anuses, and they also struck their testicles and hence damaged their private parts. The father Jairaj, a 60-year-old, was literally shouting and pleading, asking the police to let go of his son as he was getting married in a couple of months from now. On the other hand, Jairaj's son Phoenix was shouting and pleading the cops to let go of his dad. Well, this cannot get any gruesome. The private parts of both the father and the son were completely annihilated with blood gushing out of their bodies, and their clothes were literally painted in red. The two were taken to the hospital not by the police but the relatives of Jairaj and Phoenix, as the police refused to assist the two to use one of their vehicles from the police department, considering investigations they might encounter on humanitarian grounds. Jairaj and Phoenix were unable to even sit in their vehicles that were arranged by their relatives, who were sobbing to death seeing the horrific condition of their family members. And after having admitted in the hospital, the two literally went into coma for hours and for days, and unfortunately unable to fight death despite all their might to survive. Both the father as well as the son were pronounced dead. And the doctors who attended these two innocent gentlemen declared their deaths with an unimaginably overwhelming reason. Father Jairaj with a heart failure, and son Phoenix with a fever. An innocent George Floyd was brutally murdered, and the protest turned out to be a revolution. An innocent father and his son went through a dreadful death by the police of Tamil Nadu. The Tamil Nadu Police Department, which was once considered the world's second best police department after the Scotland Police, must take this shame for good, as it no longer be considered as a source of safety and security for the people of Tamil Nadu. It wouldn't take a fraction of a second for the people of Tamil Nadu to hunt these condescending and unscrupulous bastards like Balakrishnan and Raghu Ganesh and many more who are yet to be found from the list of these so-called safeguarders on the state of the nation. But this would only bring in a sense of demeanor for us citizens to rage against these anti-social psychopaths. In order for us to bring justice for mankind, this gruesome incident must become a worldwide revolution than just a mere protest, just the way it happened to the gentleman George Floyd. The law and order must be reframed, restructured, and the society will not stay patient for the procrastinated verdict, and hence each and every one of us must act instantaneously and bring these antisocial elements like Balakrishnan and Raghu Ganesh to the spotlight and frame them so that this would be a lesson to every police personnel around the globe to be able to treat the public in the wisest way possible. Else, every human being has a saturation point, and the rest would turn out to be history. Justice for Jairaj and Phoenix.